The Appalachian Trail passes through some of the most lush and dense forests and fields in eastern America, and the trail is constantly being crowded by growth. As trail maintainers, our job is to cut back this growth, ensuring that the trail is passable and enjoyable to walk, while also working to preserve the wilderness aesthetic of the trail. We call this work brushing, and in this video, we'll cover the basic skills and techniques necessary to complete this work. The standard corridor for clearing brush on the AT is 4 feet wide by 8 feet high. We call this the trail prism, and any vegetation that encroaches on this corridor should be cut back. How frequently you cut back your section will depend on the location and the type of plants that grow there. The ATC, or your trail supervisor, can provide information on sensitive plant populations that should not be cut back. The type of tools that you will use to clear your section depend on distance from the trailhead, the type of vegetation that's found in your area, as well as land manager regulations. Brushing can be done with loppers, pruning saws, sling blades, and other handheld tools on any section of the trail. If you are not in federally designated wilderness, then motorized equipment like string trimmers, brush cutters, and even mowers may be used in some areas following appropriate safety protocols. As with any volunteer work, safety is a priority while brushing. Be sure you're properly trained in how to use tools and pay special attention to some of the hazards that are common when brushing, things like poison ivy, ticks, and yellow jacket nests. These potential hazards should be discussed before you start work, and appropriate precautions should be taken. On a section of trail that is relatively flat, grasses, fast-growing plants, and woody vegetation should be cut back on both sides of the trail to keep the trail prism open and passable. However, if the area is prone to trail widening, you can leave some vegetation to encourage hikers to stay on the trail.
On a side hill trail like this, we want to cut everything on the uphill side within about 2 feet of the edge of the trail. That includes all the annual growth, as well as the woody growth that we might have in here, little saplings, shrubs, roots, etc. On the downhill side, we want to leave the annual growth because we want the hikers to stay in the middle of the trail. So we won't cut these flowers and grasses in here. We want people to stay off of that soft downhill edge. Also, you're going to want to look for overhead branches such as this one that could be pulled down into the trail by snow or rain load. You're going to want to cut those back a little bit higher.
When saplings grow up within the trail prism, remove them early while they are still small. When removing saplings, cut as flush to the ground as possible with a horizontal cut. If you use good pruning techniques, the tree will recover faster and it's safer for you too. To start, don't bite off more than your loppers can handle. You should never need to twist your loppers to make a cut. When removing limbs, cut the limb close to but not on the tree branch collar. This makes a nicer visual effect and speeds up the tree's healing. If you find yourself twisting your loppers, swap them out for a folding saw. As with most trail work, the goal when brushing is to make it seem like you were never there. After making your cuttings, clean up by moving material out of sight and spreading it over a large area. Place the cut end of discarded material facing away from the trail so that it is less noticeable to hikers. We want to limit the visibility of human impact and keep the trail as natural as possible. If you encounter a tree blown down, reach out to your trail supervisor for removal. Because of the high amounts of rainfall and constant growth of vegetation along the trail, brushing is one of the most common activities we take on as volunteers. It's good hard work, and it's easy to see the huge difference that it makes in the quality of the trail. Visit our website for more information and resources about this and other volunteer activities.